Adam Haley here, joined alongside by men's basketball coach Jeremiah Samarrippas. And coach, here we are. It's finally March, NCAA tournament time. The best of the best have been seeded. And when you take a look at our region, it is the best of the best when you talk about those 8 teams. But before we talk about that, let's go into the season that it has. You set up, we've talked about it all year long, the tough season, the tough schedule and different things, and it set your team up very well for this time of the year.
Yeah, here we are. I believe 31 games in. Played a lot of games so far. Got a lot of experience. It's been impressive to watch some of our young guys grow and develop throughout the entire season. Some guys in 2 months, some guys the entire year. And I think everything that we've been through, good and bad, has helped us get to this point. It's made us stronger, made us tougher, and hopefully prepared us enough to go into this region with a chance to win it.
We talked a little bit about the non-conference schedule, seems like all year long, but really the SAC schedule. The South Atlantic Conference this year was really tough, and it really kind of gets us settled in, ready for March.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that Wingate got in at 8. Obviously, Catawba, beating us in the championship game, getting in. So to have 3 teams this year compared to 2 last year says a lot about our league, and I think it's a lot better than what we get credit for. There's a lot of teams in our league that can beat you on any given night, just like everywhere else in the region. So not only playing a tough non-conference, but definitely going through 20 South Atlantic Conference games has helped us get better and prepared us for this moment.
Your team just went through the South Atlantic Conference tournament. It was in Rock Hill. Kind of felt like an NCAA one this year where all 3 rounds were on a neutral side essentially. And it was 3 very tough matchups. You got Lenore, Ryan, Carson Newman, and then an overtime loss to Catawba.
Yeah, LR, I thought we played well in stretches. Did not finish the game well, did not execute there well to finish. Carson Newman in the semifinal, took a lot of punches there. That definitely felt like an NCAA tournament game where, we're down 2 at halftime. They come out, make some big shots, and extend the lead a little bit. We punch them right back. They had some guys off the bench that stepped up, and I'm finishing the game, and I got 3 of our all-conference guys on the bench. Chase, McKell, and Tez are both sitting, and we got bench guys out there and freshmen out there, and they never wavered. We took the lead and was able to hold the lead and take Carson Newman's best shot, and proud of our group for that. That's great for us moving into this regional tournament. And then in the conference championship, thought we controlled the game. Really the last 5 minutes or so of the game, thought we folded down the stretch. And our guys know that. I'm not saying anything that I haven't told them. But for them to finish the game on a 15-3 run to force overtime, we had to make a shot to go to overtime. I think says a lot about our group because we were up, and Catawba, I think, took 30 more shots than us, and they beat us by 1 point. So says a lot about us. It's also a part of this journey that we're going on. Being able to fail and still have a chance to learn from it and continue your season is something that we're fortunate to have, because there's a lot of teams that have something like that happens and you don't do a good job in the non-conference or throughout your entire season, then you don't have a chance to get an automatic bid like we did. So we're very fortunate that we're able to play in the region and learn from that mistake, and this group has responded all year long. And the only way you can get better is to fail, to learn from it. So we failed, and we'll get better from it, and it'll help us going into this tournament at North Georgia.
You want your team playing at the best when they get into March, and I feel like you have one player in particular that got a little bit of love to start off the year. I don't want to say he kind of got lost in the stardom of what the team is, but really kind of shined there down in Rock Hill, and that's Osmar. He really came back and just really kind of showed everybody, like, hey, there's more to this team than what we see.
Yeah, I thought he started a lot of games to start the season for us, and Jordan Walters started playing a little bit better, and obviously he has a ton of experience. Walters does starting for us, and just a little better fit in that starting lineup. But Osmar could definitely start anywhere, probably in the country for sure, in our league and region. I mean, he's really good. Thought he should have been on the all-freshman team for our conference. Maybe gets overshadowed a little bit by some other guys on other teams. But happy that he made the all-tournament team. his impact, those 3 games, clearly were felt. I got a lot of texts, and a bunch of coaches in the league were telling me, like, man, that guy's going to be special. That guy's really good. And to have a freshman that can do that on that stage in that moment says a lot about him and how good he can be and what the future is for him and our program. But I am proud of him because, like you said, it has been up and down. It's been a typical freshman year for him. He's had moments where he scored 16, 17 points in a game. He started for us. He's carried us. He's also had some moments where he's played 5 minutes a game, and he hasn't really played. And he's been a great teammate, and he's been fully committed to the program. And I'm happy that he stayed the course and saw some success.
Turning our attention now to the regional field, 8 teams in the Southeast region, and I've never seen a region this stacked. When you're talking about the 8 seed in Wingate was part of the regular season champions in our conference, and I've looked up and down these 8 teams, and I've told people all week I cannot see a team that stands out above the other, and there's not a team that you think, okay, well, they're probably going to be a first round out, because any one of these 8 teams can get out of this region.
Yeah, it's not crazy to say that Wingate could beat the number 1 seed. I mean, they're a good team. Brian does a good job, just throughout the region. Throughout the region, everybody. Who knows what's going to happen, to be honest. I mean, I don't think anybody can predict what this thing is going to look like, which is good. That means it's open. That means you have a chance. Our pick in particular, with Lander, it's like we're the 3 seed. We're supposed to get a lower level team, a typical 6 seed. But just 2 weeks ago, they were number 1. Yeah. So it's like we're number 3, but we're playing the team that was number 1 2 weeks ago. So that just tells you the depth of our region.
It almost feels like deja vu. It's 3rd consecutive year. We're the 3 seed, 2nd consecutive. We're going to see a Lander in the opening round, and it's a coach that we all know, and Omar Watad, and it's a Lander team that I'm sure you've seen and paid attention to all season long, getting ready for this moment.
Yeah, he does a great job. Obviously, one of my best friends was in my wedding in July. Love Omar, love his family, love what he's doing at Lander. He's done a remarkable job this year. They slipped up the last few games, and so that's why they dropped to 6. But they're just like anybody else in this region, more than capable of beating us and winning the region. So we have to be fully locked in. But, yeah, it's like deja vu. I mean, we had a chance to maybe move up a little bit. Maybe if we win the tournament championship, maybe we're 2. Maybe if we don't slip up and lose some games, maybe we're a higher seed. But I think everybody at this point can say that. There's not a team in the region that's only got 1 loss or 2 losses. Everybody has taken their losses at this point. But, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to be fully locked in and ready to go. O does a great job. His team is really good. They've got a bunch of really good players. He's able to play 10 or 11 guys in a game, which says a lot about their depth. And they can beat you in a lot of different ways. I think the biggest thing that probably stands out is they're a top 10 defense in the country. They got a lot of guys that can sit down and guard. So we've got to be able to put the ball in the basket, take care of the basketball, play the way we want to play. And then, I think here down the stretch, we've been defending pretty well, at a high level. So continue to defend at a high level, share the ball, and play our game.
That was one thing that I watched the championship game. It was a very low-scoring game. They were talking about it on the broadcast how it was going down at one point. They were talking about maybe the lowest-scoring championship game in SAC history, and that's exactly what I thought about all the conversations. It's all about defense right now with this team. Everybody loves to score 100 points, but it's the defense part for it. Talk about the team here on this last question, getting ready for the NCAA tournament. How have they kind of been coming off the loss in Rock Hill, getting ready to go to Dahlonega?
Yeah, so Friday, was bad, like a funeral. I think Saturday, even on the bus coming back, just getting back on campus, them being able to see their peers, and obviously they know we lost. I think all of our guys kind of stayed to themselves, and it hurt, and it should hurt. It meant a lot to us to try to win that tournament championship, and we put a lot into this season, in the off season, preseason. Heading into this year, our guys invest a lot of individual time. We invest a lot of time in practice. As coaches, we invest a lot of time. So it meant a lot. But I think we're in a good headspace. Sunday for the selection show, we did a team bonding activity. We pretty much just hung out in our players' lounge and played video games and had pizza and wings and cookies and cake and, really just spent time together. And, the amount of laughs and stories and jokes, me and my wife demolished Martez Brown and Bart in spades. You know, it was a pretty clean blowout there. So we had a good time. We enjoyed watching the selection show, and the guys are kind of shocked, you know, to see that we play Lander again, you know. But like I told them, it could be Lander, it could be North Georgia, it could be Aiken, it could be Catawba again. I mean, it's all the same at this point. You're going to have to go through the best teams in the region. There's no, you know, sugarcoating this. There's no side steps. You're going to have to go through people. And so if we want to win and be there on Tuesday cutting down the nets again, you know, we got to go through everybody.
It's win or go home time. It's what we've been preparing for all season long. Coach, good luck this weekend at Dahlonega.
Thank you.